just had an interaction which, for me, kind of just defines the college experience. And just, I don't know, makes me want to be a better person and I don't know, just like be, okay. So, one of the things that one of my biggest insecurities going into college was the idea that I'm not a social enough person. I don't talk to people enough. I don't know, awkward in social settings maybe, and just, I don't know, like social anxiety, I guess, is a label that you could put on it. I don't know if that's fair or not, but it doesn't really matter, at least right now. Like, I think you get what I'm trying to say. And it's always been like something where, or maybe not always, but recently at least, it's been like, I really want to be more social. And I've been quiet for the most part throughout my life. And for a long time, I never really thought about it that much. It was just sort of like that's how I am, and it is what it is. And more recently, it's been, that's how I am, and I don't really want to be so much like that anymore. I like making friends. I like being social. And I think most people do. I like doing things like dancing, which I was never comfortable doing when I was younger around other people, or even at all probably, because I was anxious about it, or how other people would perceive me and things like that. Whatever. The usual stuff that almost everyone deals with. So that's the conflict, setting up the conflict. And college is a place where I think my perception was that's a place where a lot of people sort of come out of their shells, and people like me, I guess, or just people in general kind of get through some of those things, become more social, interact with many more people, and just are constantly around people all the time. And so, it's you kind of lose that, and it's not a bad thing to lose necessarily, but lose a lot of that anxiety. And I think that's happened to an extent. I think it's happened to an extent. And at the same time, I know that it really does take conscious effort, despite being in an environment where it is really likely that I have access to people who I can talk to all the time. And there are tons of friends for me to make, if I want to put myself out there more and more. And interactions to be had all the time, every day. I can always go and interact with someone, which is an opportunity that I don't have at home, or I haven't had much in my life. And to be honest, I don't take advantage of it that much. I just don't. It's not something I think about so much. I knew it was a goal coming in, but I haven't made a conscious effort to really work on it. Besides in certain settings, okay, when I go get my food, I try to talk a little bit to the cashier, and I've become more comfortable with interactions like that, which is kind of a minor thing. Okay, that's something. But besides things that I'm kind of forced to do by the way that I live, interacting with people in classes, I try to be more social in classes, and I've definitely succeeded in certain ways in that, where I've had classes where I feel like I've made friends and put myself out there in ways that I haven't necessarily done before, and made good friendships because of it. Great. At the same time, there are so many opportunities I've had that I've passed up. And of course it's okay. I think part of, I don't know, like it's an interesting sort of in-between where like someone who is just naturally, or just someone who just is really social, doesn't necessarily think all the time, I have to talk to this person. They just genuinely want to talk to people, and so they do. They're genuinely curious about what other people are doing, and they want to get to know people, and so they do. Whereas for me, those things don't necessarily come as naturally. I am genuinely curious about people, but I think my anxiety has tended to override that curiosity, and continues to do so. So, yeah, like there are plenty of opportunities, and in a sense, I'm like it feels like constantly thinking, oh, I have to talk to these people when I have an opportunity, is not something that the person I'm trying to become would do in a way. At the same time, maybe it's a necessary step to do that now, until it sort of becomes natural, right? Do it over and over again until I just naturally do this, and I sort of lose some of that anxiety, and so then the curiosity wins over, and I talk to people all the time and start conversations all the time and things like that. So, all interesting things to think about. I haven't gotten into the actual story that literally just happened 10 minutes ago, less, that caused me to press the record button on my phone as I'm driving and record this episode. So I was walking out of my dorm building, and on a whim I had put my camera in my backpack, because I don't know, there's been some times where I've kind of been walking around campus and been like, man, it would be cool to have my camera and take a photo. There's some pretty flowers or something like that, and it's pretty this time of year, and honestly it's pretty dark right now, so not necessarily something I had to do, but I was like, why not throw the camera in the bag? I probably won't use it, but if I decide, I want to randomly take a photo of something, I'll have it in my bag. So, whatever, put it out in my bag, go downstairs, walk out my dorm, and outside I just catch, sort of, out of the corner of my eye, I see some people sitting on the ledge of a staircase going sort of into the dorm, and I just thought, like, they looked cool, and they're kind of sitting up high. And then I recognized that it was 3 people, and one of them was someone that I know, not necessarily my friend, but an acquaintance, someone that I've sort of like someone who was a friend of a friend, and then I kind of just kept seeing him around where I live, and so now I gotta find parking. So I'm getting a bit distracted. So someone where, like, I forgot his name. If you're watching this, I'm really sorry. I don't know why you'd be watching this, but I forgot his name. So, like, I don't know him that well, right? But he's someone where, like, usually when I see him, I'll just, like, wave or say what's up and walk past. And I've had maybe 1 or 2 relatively short conversations with him in my life. Seems like a cool guy, someone I'd like to get to know better and be friendly with. Why not? Just someone who has, good energy. Seems cool. Whatever. I'm getting taking a long time to keep this on, actually, so we can turn this light on, and then maybe have some more of this one as well. I got the whole 2-point lighting setup here. So I see he's sitting with his friends. I kind of walk past, and I kind of, looked over at him. He didn't see me, so I was like, okay, fine. I'm not gonna say hi right now. Well, I was walking to my car to go drive, and as I was walking, I'm just thinking, like, they look really cool. I have my camera in my bag. It'd be cool to take a photo of them. Like, I could just go and ask him and take a photo. But I felt kind of awkward because, like, I was walking away from them, and then I was gonna turn around and walk back towards them, and I don't know, I don't know this guy that well, and all of the excuses sort of come up, or just, like, I don't know, just, it's hard for me to, like, the first second that I come up with an idea like this, to act on it. I'm not trained to do that yet, I feel like, and I hope eventually I will. And that's kind of a big thing about it, is, like, there are plenty of times like this where something like this happens. Not this one felt particularly like this is a cool opportunity, and, like, I really want to do this. Taking a photo of people, like, I love taking photos, and I don't know, it's not just like I could have, like, walked over and just decided to start a conversation with him out of nowhere. That would have felt a little bit like out of the blue. But this was, like, feels like a good opportunity something I want to do, but I just felt awkward about it. So I walked to my car. It's not that far away. I'm still kind of like inside of them. And then like I'm kind of just thinking, and I'm about to put my bag in the trunk, and I'm giving myself more excuses. It's gonna be weird, and like I don't know the people that he's with, or I didn't know one of the people he was with, and I don't know, just like I could just take the camera out of my bag and just hold the camera, but then what if they say no? It's kind of awkward. I'm just holding this camera, and it's kind of funny that I just came with my camera to take a picture of them. Like, it feels kind of weird, and just all the overthinking things, right? All the excuses as to why I could choose not to do this. And then I decided, I made the what I see as the correct decision, which was to go do it. And so I just slung my bag over my shoulder, closed the trunk, didn't put anything in my car. Maybe they wondered what I was doing. It doesn't really matter. Walked back over to them, said hi to my friend, acquaintance, whatever. Maybe now a little bit more of a friend. And just said, hey, can I take a photo of you guys? You look really cool up there. And they were like, yeah, of course. I took a photo of them, talked to them for a second, not much, showed them the photo. They thought it was cool. Got the guy's Instagram so I can send it to him. Remembered his name because I saw his Instagram. Oh yeah, that's his name. I forgot, but I remember. And I was on my way. And like had some fun banter walking back to my car and shouting things across the street, which was fun and just whatever, right? Just good energy. So was left with a great taste in my mouth, put my bag in the trunk for the second time, this time closed the trunk with the bag in it, and walked around to get in my car and record this video, feeling amazing. I don't have much more time because I need to eat before my dining hall closes, which is why I drove here. But this is just something, I want to make a habit of this as much as I can. I don't have much time left in school, really not much at all. 2 weeks, and then it's pretty much over, like 3 weeks, and then I have to be gone out of here. And there'll be a few days at least where I'm not even here during that time, so I don't have much time. But I want to do more things like this. I want to go up to random people and talk to them. I don't know, like it's really scary, and random people will see. But I want to make a habit of doing things like this more. And again, like I definitely have the curiosity and the desire to make connections and to talk to people, and it's something that I want to do. And that's kind of how I know, that's kind of my compass for like, hey, this is a worthwhile thing to pursue and a worthwhile struggle to go through, battling the excuses and the anxiety that I feel, the fear, because there's a pot of gold on the other side. The feeling afterwards is great, and it's not just the feeling afterwards. The feeling after a lot of things are great, and not all those things are things I want to be doing. But again, it's like it's something I genuinely want. Not because it's hard, not because of the feeling after. I just genuinely want to connect with people, genuinely have a curiosity about other people's lives, and genuinely want to make connections with people because it's one of the most potent sources of fulfillment in my life, and something that I haven't explored very often, mainly because of, or chicken and the egg, but fear, whatever. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk, and I hope you're doing well, actually. And I'm gonna start saying less. And yeah, have a good night, or a good morning, or a good afternoon, or a good day, or whatever. And I'm probably gonna stop talking now because I'm not making much sense. Bye-bye.